Hey guys, it's me Lego Master 627 and today I am back with another video. Now this video is going to be a bit different because I've been wanting to show you guys something really cool. And that is backyard maps. Now basically what these are is I draw the backyard on paper. Like basically I draw every single area that's in the backyard right now. For example, we got the tree next to the garden, the dirt area, the field, the time machine, the pump house. Yeah, basically every single area in the backyard, but drawn on paper. By me. Now I made about 22 of them? Yeah, 22. That's crazy. So anyway, I'm going to be showing you every single one I've made on this video. So with that said, let's get into it. You guys are absolutely going to love this because it took me around 2 to 3 days to actually make all of these. Okay, so the first one we're going to start off with is what the backyard looks like when there's absolutely no events going on whatsoever, aka normal. So, right here, as you can see, we have the tree next to the garden, which is basically the place where I barely decorate anything for events, which is fine, I guess. I don't really go over there that much anymore, actually, to be honest. Like, if I look at my past backyard videos, I barely go over there at all. Kind of sad, actually. But I will plan on going over there again very soon. Possibly in the next episode. Alright, next up, we have the dirt area. Now, you guys can obviously recognize it because, first of all, there's that log right there that has been there for the past 3 years. Pretty impressive, actually. Then, we got the hole that I dug around 2 years ago in episode 3 of Backyard Video. Speaking of which, it is still there to this day. It's just I don't go over there that much anymore. Also kind of sad, just like that one. And then we just got the sticks that are usually there, but for some reason have disappeared. And finally, this gigantic wood piece, which has also been here for the past 3 years. Or who knows how many. But yeah, you know what the dirt area looks like. It's usually the same every single time. Except for when an event goes on. But still, I also plan to go back there way more often, just like the tree next to the lanai. Alright, next up, we have the field. Now, you can obviously recognize it because of the hole, which is also still there to this day, and has stayed there ever since October 22nd, 2017. No, 2016. I can't believe I forgot that. Next up, we have the logs. Now, the logs have actually changed a little bit, like, the first ever ones I had actually disappeared, and then I actually had to get new ones in February 2017. And by the way, those logs are actually the same ones to this day. Surprisingly. Pretty impressive. Just like this hole that's been here for way longer time. Still pretty impressive that it's actually survived this long. But yeah, I also plan to dig in the hole way more often now in Backyard Video. Specifically in the next episode coming this weekend. Alright, next up, we have the time machine. Which you guys know obviously because I do visit there pretty well. Good enough amount of times to visit there. It's still really cool. I still love it to this day. And it's just an amazing creation me and my dad created last year. But we got these spots that are usually there. Like this one, and this one. Yeah, there's usually around 3 spots on the door. Well, the walls of it. Then we got the little door thing that usually always is like blown away because of the wind every day. And then if you don't remember this little stone thing that's always next to it, that has not moved in like 3 years? Or who knows how many years that's been there. But the time machine is still really cool. I'll still visit it every single backyard video. Well, not in the previous one, I didn't. I forgot to. Or maybe I did. I'll have to check. Okay, next up, we have the pump house. Now, there are very, very, very obvious things about this. First of all, if you don't know what these are right here, these are the filters. I just made like small little versions for them because I cannot remember what the exact filters looked like in there. So I just made like little small ones just in case. Then right next to it is, well, you guys should recognize the cat cage. Yeah, the cat cage. Now, if you didn't remember, this was never here at the very beginning of the series. I mean, the first time it ever appeared was literally episode 16 of the whole series. Every episode before that, it was never there. Every episode after that, it has always been there, and it's still there to this day. Next up, we got the tree next to the garden. However, again, due to the garden not being there anymore, why am I still calling it that? Well, I'm pretty addicted to saying that now. but usually there's nothing really there in an amount of time, but it's still really cool to see. Next up, we got the shed. Now, I still go there to this day. We even go behind it sometimes to do, dig it for rock, in which that will be sometime this weekend in another episode. Sometimes we even go in there as well, but not as many as you think. Now, the last one on the normal map is the tub area. Now, obviously, we don't go down here that much. Actually, you know why we don't go down here anymore? Because it's buried in leaves. So many leaves. Honestly, it was actually a good thing that we actually buried it. Because, nothing was really down there anymore. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the normal one. Now, let me get on to the other ones. Alright, the next one I'm going to do right here is the April Fool's Party 2017. Now, for the event maps, I'm going to do them in the exact order that I did them. Well, doing the events. So, here we have the April Fool's Party. So, anyway, as you know, last year there were only two. The top of the pump house and the bottom of the pump house. These both had small decoration, but were still really cool indeed. The one we did this year was also really cool, but this one honestly would have to possibly be my favorite April Fool's Party in the backyard. Alright, the next one is the Summer Party Part 1. Now, this was last year's, because we haven't had one this year yet. So right here, the only rooms that were decorated were the top of the pump house and the bottom of the pump house. Now you might be asking, what about the Easter and Earth Day events and the snowstorm? Well, I do not have pictures of those, mainly due to the fact that I forgot to draw them. I was only drawing this backyard, you know, that one. So yeah, all decorations for each of these were really cool. I had a really fun time making them. I really do hope that I could actually do this event again sometime this year, just because I put a lot of effort into it. Alright, the next one is the 100 episode event. Now, obviously, this celebration was just to celebrate 100 episodes of Backyard Video, which was honestly one of the best ever milestone celebrations in history. Honestly, I think that was, again, one of the best milestone history, well, best milestone events in possibly history for the series. Well, the 200 episode one was also really, really good. I loved how I did that one as well. We will get to that later. But anyway, let's start off with the 100 episode. So, the ones that we were decorated were obviously the dirt area, due to the surfboards right there. Those were really cool. I loved how I actually put them off to the side. Then the next one we had was the time machine, which we had the box with the pieces of wood and the little blue thing. And even though these weren't in the celebration, I just put them up there just for fun. Now, I know some of the little concepts from the event are actually there, such as the tree next to the pump house. I know that isn't there. Kind of unfortunate. I just forgot to add them. Then we have the pump house, which, pretty cool decorations. Not gonna lie. We had the box with the spray cans. Then up at the top of the pump house, we had basically all the decorations, including the 100 episode logo. And finally, the tree next to the garden, we had the dodgeball and the other blue thing. Also, a little difference about the sky was it was half day and half night. Now, this was mainly due to the fact that I was doing the episode at half day and half night. Alright, the next one we did after was the backyard games. So this was the first ever backyard games that was ever held in the backyard. Also due to one being in January 2018. So the first one we got was the dirt area, and if you don't remember, that was the blue team side. The next one was the field with the red team. The third one was the time machine with the green team. And the final one was the yellow team with the tree next to the garden. Now the pump house was actually decorated because of what team won on what day, which was actually a nice feature. Honestly, I think both backyard games were excellent. Since we already done one this year, I'm not gonna do one again. Alright, the next one we have is the bike derby. Now, I'm not really sure if there's gonna be another one this year. Maybe there will. I'll think about it. But anyway, as you can tell, It is obviously the bike derby from last year, which was absolutely amazing. It was actually my mom's favorite event of all time. So, right here, we got the, the tarp with the 2 chairs and the goal stand. Well, the metal stand, actually. And next up, we got the dirt area, where there was a helmet that you could pick up on your next way to all the races. Another chair over there, and a little racket right there. Next up, we have another bin where you could pick up another helmet, and then the dodgeball. Next up, the top of the pump house. It was a garage, so, yeah. You can notice the project table, a chair, and a few other bins. And the last one was the tree next to the garden, which was the starting line. And then you can see a track going all over the backyard, as that was originally supposed to be the track in the actual event. Alright, next up, the water event. Honestly, one of my favorite events. Now, first of all, we have the dirt area, which had the noodles and the rings with a bunch of water and a bucket of water. Next up, we have the field with 2 noodles, 1 of these surfboards, and a bin full of water with the 2 blue things. Next up, this tree next to the garden with the dodgeball and frisbee in a bin with 2 noodles. And finally, at the top of the pump house, we had a bunch of noodles with the water gun bin and the bucket of water. Honestly, I think I plan on doing this event again sometime. Well, that's if you guys want me to. Alright, next up, the Backyard Video's first anniversary party. Honestly, another one of my favorites. You guys know how this went. So, right here at the tree next to the lanai, it was the bike derby version. Now, the reason why there are streamers up there is just to, well, mark it up there for the event. Even though it wasn't even at the event, it was still cool anyway. Alright, next up in the dirt area, if you guys don't remember, it was the hole with the sticks. And yeah, also you'll see all these streamers in every single room. Honestly, I love this room as well. The third one was the hole. Now you guys remember, this was the hole and the logs being brought back with a towel under it, because these were basically every single room. I think this one right here would honestly have to be my most favorite design, because it's so cool. Next up, the time machine. Now the reason why it's like scrapped like that is because I accidentally messed up something while making it. So, sorry. But anyway, this was the time machine construction part 1. We had the ladder, the little piece that went with it, and the stone. Oh, and the pieces of wood. Oh, and the towel that was there. Next up, we have the pump house. Now this was the New Year's Eve project, which was also a really cool design. Also, the little sign right there that also had the first anniversary hat. Well, the first anniversary hat logo. And the little sign that said 1 year anniversary party. Then, at the tree next to the garden, it was the gigantic stick pot. And there was nothing at the top of the pump house, because I never decorated it. Alright, next up, the 7 Days of Fun 2017. Okay then, so you guys may remember this event. It was where every single day a very fun thing would come. So I'm going to start off with the pump house. So at the top of the pump house was day 1. Noodles were everywhere. It was a really fun activity. So day 2 was the surfboards and the water gun. Day 3 was the rings. Day 4 ain't here because I didn't draw the tree. Actually, none of these have the tree. Day 5 was dodgeball. Day 6 was the water guns. And day 7 was frisbee. Alright, next up is the celebration of fall, where basically every room that was decorated was covered in leaves, as you would expect. So the dirt area was covered in complete leaves. Well, the squiggles on the swirly things on the dirt area are like leaves. Every squiggle. Yeah, the squiggles are the leaves. So this is the wagon that was at the field. Then the pump house was completely covered in it, along with the cat cage. Then there was a rake at the tree next to the garden to help, take away all the leaves. Also, there was a sweep at the dirt area to also get rid of the leaves after the event was over. And the top of the pump house was completely covered in it because of a bucket. Alright, one more for this video, then I'm going to put it in a part 2. The 150th episode. So if you don't remember, it was half of the decorations from the 100th and half new decorations for 150. Let me show you. Area was the 100th episode. Time Machine was 100th episode. Pump House was 150. Tree Next to Garden was 150. And Top of the Pump House was 100 and was 1.